Morning, everyone. Okay. There we are. All right, we are ready. Hey, Tina, nice to have you with me today. Hey, Oakland, I'm assuming you're with your grandma there. So, we dealt with, you had 2 inches of rain. We had probably an inch here yesterday. Didn't expect that at all. Jim thought it was all going north of us, so nice shower to get. But I'm gonna go on ahead and get turning around because I've got quite a few things I need to get over today. All right. So let me get this set up. So we are gonna do quadrant stamping today. And quadrant stamping is an easy and fun way to stamp 4 cards and be done relatively quickly. Stamp all 4 of them, couple of paper cuts, and you're ready to go, and then you can put your cards together. So we're gonna do 2. I'm gonna show you one that's a floral, and then we're gonna do one that's a Christmas one. So actually, we're gonna put the Christmas one together, but I'm gonna show you this one. First things first, I'm glad you set your alarm, Rhonda. Hey, Chris, nice to have you with us too. So Wednesday morning is the last day to sign up for the One Sheet Wonder. If you have never done a One Sheet Wonder class, it is so much fun because you think, how is it possible to cut one 12 by 12 piece of paper and make all these cards? And it is relatively, you'll be amazed. I ended up doing a tiny trim off of 1/8 of an inch. Everything else on the 12 by 12 is here, and we will get 11 cards out of it. The card kits, you get 11 cards, plus you get is a product-based class. So that means I've got to pre-order everything. That's why I have to have the sign up no later than Wednesday morning. It's a $30 class, but out of the $30 class, you're going to get $25 product. You're going to get a half a package of coordinating cardstock. So you'll get 12 sheets of coordinating cardstock. You'll get half a package of the softly stippled DSP. You'll get a full package of rhinestones, a full package of ribbons, and a full package of dimensionals. So really and truly, you get the class. The class it's a $25 kit that you're going to get. You're going to pay $30, which will help offset the shipping and handling, and you're going to get the 11 cards. I will do it both in the church on the 15th from 3 until 7:30. Come and go. Then you can also do it at home. It's one that I can ship to you, but because it involves 12 by 12 paper, I have to ship a little more expensively. So if I have to mail it to you, it's a $10 charge to get it all mailed to you, but then it's all in the package. The 11 cards and all the product and everything. And I used Pebble Path, Calypso Coral, and I used Wild Wheat. If you had just one of those and you substituted in black, you could use black for the greetings, and one of those would work for the images. You don't have to use any of the stamps that I use. I use Wild Ferns, I believe it was. But you can use anything that's got some greenery in it. Just something that's got some little sprigs of things that you can decorate around the labels. All the labels come. You'll have all your ribbons, your gems, everything. I do all the embellishments. So let me know if you're interested in the class. I can do it online and in person, but I have to know no later than Wednesday morning because I have to get the order in to ship express. It has to be out and shipped out before noon that day. So, all right, so let's talk about quadrant stamping. Quadrant stamping is doing 4 card mats all at the same time. We're gonna stamp them all at one time, and we're gonna cut it, and when we cut it, we'll be able to have 4 mats. This is a simple one that I did, and this is one that I used translucent something, maybe translucent petals or something. And I was able to get all 4 of these cards, and then I just added some labels to them. You don't even have to do that. But if I were to sit here and look at it, how did I stamp it? Well, I don't know if I could figure it out, but I could try. Okay, there's one. No. Well, I did go back and stamp a few things after the fact, and I've also cut a little piece out. So just trying to lay it in here. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can tell you how to do it, but I'm going to show you, so it's okay. And the cards do not have to all be horizontal. You can turn them horizontal, you can turn them vertical, you can turn them so that the inked images are on the right, you can turn them so that the inked images are on the left, you can turn them so they're in the top left corner, you can put them in the bottom left corner. You can do all sorts of things with these. So let's get started. We're going to use the colors of Blackberry Bliss, Garden Green, Flirty Flamingo, and Lemon Lime Twist. And I'm going to use the textured florals. I think you want a stamp set that has the color of the floral and the images in the stamp. If you do an outline stamp, which I may do one of those this week, but if you do an outline stamp, you've got to color in everything you do. Or you have to use blending markers or not blending brushes to be able to add the ink. So I really would highly suggest that you get a stamp that is solid images, because that saves also on the time. When I say an image that's open, I'm talking about something like this bag where you're only going to get the black outline. You're going to have to color it in to add color or do something. Morning, Rosemary. Morning, Patricia. So I'm going to go with textured floral. The ones that I just showed you were the translucent ones. So let's get started. So I'm going to take a regular piece of paper. This is 8.5 by 11. And I have scored it lightly at 5.5 and 4 1/4. You could go on ahead, and if you would much rather not score your paper, you could take your ruler and you could lightly draw in lines. That will work too. You're going to end up cutting some of this off anyway, so you can make sure that you cut off the lines themselves. Morning, Jonna. So we're going to get started. I have already gone through and I have scored 4.5 by 5.5. No, 4 1/4 by 5.5. And I'm going to go on ahead and start with my biggest floral first. I'm going to go with the biggest one, which is this Blackberry Bliss. Now, one of the things that you have to be careful about is you have to be careful not to over stamp. You're going to put by the time I'm finished, I'm going to have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images. And I'm going to have all parts of all 5 of these images in 1/4 of this paper. If you stamp gobs and gobs of this big floral image, you're not going to have room to do all this, okay? Because the idea is we're going to keep our stamped images in the middle on that score line and in the middle of this score line so that we have an open area to put our greetings, okay? So I'm just going to load up my Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to stamp it. And if you look, you can see I stamped it over the line. You can see where my line is. That's okay, because I'm going to cut it apart. And that line is going to be there for me. I want some of the image to be in this side and some over here, okay? All right, so I'm going to go on ahead and do this one. just a little. Truly, the hardest part is going to be, you're going to want to overstamp. You can always go back and add more. And I am going to add one more because I'm going to add right there because I needed more in that corner and that corner. All right, so we're going to stop with this one. Next one I'm going to is Garden Green. Now, this image is meant so that it kind of fits. And when I say it kind of fits, that's what I mean. It kind of fits in here. It doesn't fit perfectly exact. So I'm looking for these little points. I'm going to fill in the bottom with one of the little points is here. And I'm just going to kind of fit my stems in there, my leaves. They're not going to be tight. Just like that. Put some down here. I think I want a little bit of leaf down here. Okay. So have any of you done quadrant stamping before? Do a little more here. This one may be tricky, but I'm going to try to squeeze one in here. Nobody's answered, so maybe nobody's done it before. All right, so I'm going to stop with that because every one of these I have to have space to add more florals, add space to add more flowers, more leaves, more all of these things. So let's go with, let's go with this one. Let's skip over to this set of leaves. Patricia said she's not. Jonna said she's done it with autumn leaves. Yeah, that would be beautiful. Okay, so this one is Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm just going to fill in some spots. Some of these are going to overlap, and that's okay. We want them to overlap. Some of the stems are going to be visible on one side, maybe not the other side. We're just filling them in, adding stems. There's no rhyme or reason to this, and there's no right or wrong. So, you know, it's one of those things that you can't get hurt by it. You just play a little. Okay, I'm gonna add a little here, just so I've got a little color down here at the bottom. Flip this. So this is our third color and stamp that we've had. Welcome to our world, Rhonda. We all have way too much stuff, and yet we want more, don't we? Rosemary, you need to try it, okay? Even if it's just, you make a mistake, you don't like it, it's paper. One sheet of paper. Throw it out. Now, don't give up on me and leave too soon because I've got a Christmas one coming up that you're going to like, and it's a smaller measurement. So now I'm coming in with Flirty Flamingo. How do you guys pick your card colors and your combinations? A lot of times I'll start with my DSP, and I will add colors from a DSP. That helps me pick them. But I also will pick just by pulling colors. I'm apt to go to my stamps and pull my inks, and I'll pull 3 or 4 inks and lay them on top of each other. I'll go and look at them. Another thing is I'll apt to take a piece of cardstock and go and stand at a window and just look. Because you just got to see how the colors play together. Can you see how now we're getting this plus? It's almost like a cross because it's going to be here in the middle and here in the middle, and you can see my line that I put in there. Okay, my score line. So let's come back now and let's add another floral that is in that stamp set. A little daisy. We woke up this morning and had a plumbing issue that has to be addressed, so now we are waiting on the plumbers to arrive. We've got somebody there picking up an order.
Oh, always. I'm trying to get rid of 3 months of recycling.
All right. Okay, so there's that. And then let's come back, and I like some little images too. I like where we have some of this stuff that is just little dots. I like things like that because then I can come back in and I can do little fillers. And I think we need all the fillers we can get to kind of tie it all together. Don is at the door. I hear her talking to him. He's sharing his recycling woes with her. Okay. Hey, that's not bad. Okay. All right. Now, not to say that we're done. We may want to do a little bit more. But until then, let's go on ahead and add a center. I'm going to add just the center in the pink flowers. I tried, when I say pink, I meant flirty flamingo. I tried to add black in the big ones, and I don't like black. And it was so dark that I really couldn't see it otherwise, okay? All right. I think I want, well, let's just cut now. Let's cut and see what we got. So now you're going to have to cut it, and this is a point where I am going to cut on the score line. I like a big guillotine cutter, much happier with that than I am the other. So I'm just going to start cutting here first on the score line, and then I'm going to cut down. All right, so I'm gonna go on ahead and cut this down. This is right now at 4 1/4, so that's literally the front of a card. I'm gonna cut it down. I'm gonna put a mat under it at 4 1/8, so I'm gonna cut it at 4 inches, and I'm gonna go on ahead and cut 1/8 off here, and 1/8 off the other side so that I keep more of the stamped image. And then I'm gonna cut this down to a little off there because there's the score line. And here, and I have my mat. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so I'm just gonna go on ahead and do all of these at the same time. These two lay the same, so I'm just gonna score them and cut them. All right. And at 4 inches. And this one, 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so here are my 4 quadrant. Look, pretty, pretty, pretty. And I can turn it however I want. So let's go on ahead and let's turn this one this way. And I am going to just put some thank yous. I need a bunch of thank yous for some people. So I'm gonna make all 4 of these thank yous. But I may use 2 different thank you stamps. Hey Lynn, nice to have you with us. So let's go on ahead and I think I'll make this one garden green just for something different. Thank you. And let's do another one. Let's turn it this way. Put the greeting right in the middle, and we'll put some ribbon across that one. And then let's do a different thank you there. We'll use the other side of the block. Put this more in the center. And I think I'm gonna do this one this way. Okay. 4 cards. The fronts are made. Jan, that's Megan. Okay. So there's my 4 card fronts. And all you have to do is pair it up with some paper. I've got some cut. We're not going to make these into cards, but let me show you. How easy is that? How pretty is that? Super easy. I'll put some ribbon across it, put some gems on it, and you have 4 cards. You can switch everyone out. By the way, so that you know, I am one of these that if I can use an image out of the mat, by all means, use it. Okay? So here we go again. I use the same one. Same Blackberry Bliss and Flirty Flamingo. Not probably a color combination that a lot of people would put. And also, again, with the lemon lime twist, I really like that. I think it's bright and it's bold and I love it. Okay, let's change it up to a different color combo. Let's take lemon lime twist and let's put this on here. Completely different look, even though it's the same card. These are easy ways to do it. Now stick with me for a minute. I need a couple of seconds to clean up this part and move it out so I can pull out the Christmas. And I'm going to show you how I did it with a Christmas card. And we're going to finish one. Okay. All right, so we're going to work with the colors of Cherry Cobbler, Mossy Meadow, and Old Olive. We're going to use the stamp set of Golden Greenery. And we're going to use the paper, Seasons of Green and Gold. And we are going to make Christmas cards. Super easy. I can see that's not very straight, but still super easy. So let's get everything laid out here. You need some dimensionals. Here come my stamps that are dirty. This, and this. Okay. So I'm going to change this one up a little bit. Whereas the one that we just finished was regular 8.5 by 11, and I scored it at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2 to get my 4 fronts of my card. This one I'm going to be smaller. You know, I'm not going to sit there and work on one that is all that big space if I'm going to have to cut it down anyway. So let's turn this over and let's go with a cleaner side here. Okay. All right. So instead I went with a smaller measurement of, I went with 3.5 by 4.5. And then I multiplied that, so I have 3.5 twice. So this one is, this is 4.5, sorry, 4.5 and 4.5. That's 9 inches. This is 3.5 and 3.5. So I went 9 by 7. And I scored it in the middle at 3.5 and again at 4.5, okay? And I'm gonna start with Mossy Meadow. And I'm gonna use this for the pines. And let me take a moment to get rid of some of this excess ink, or I will have it on me and on my papers. Okay. Hope everyone had a good weekend with the holidays. We saw friends. We had homemade ice cream and fireworks with good friends, and we went out for dinner with another set of friends, and we just enjoyed our holiday. Otherwise, it was pretty laid back. All right. Of course, it's probably going to have come all the way through to my finger, and it did. Okay, so that got rid of the worst of it. So what we're gonna start with, there are 2 pine branches. There are 2 of them. The one that's on the left side here has more surface, like the background stamp of the pines. And this one is the detailed. If you go to the case, it's the first one is gonna be this one, and the second one with the detail. So I'm gonna stamp the back of this off. I'm gonna stamp it off to get me a lighter image, and then I will stamp full force with the needles to give me all of the separation. We did this with one of my classes at the last Christmas card class. We stamped it that way. So we're gonna stamp off, and then I'm just gonna overlap, just like we did, overlapping. Okay, I want to make sure that I have a good image of pine needles up on the top of every one of these corners. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to do one on every corner. Okay, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put one on the bottoms down here. I've got some ink there, so I'm going to see if I can cover that smudge up. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Again, be careful. The first inclination is to start going to town, and if you fill up too much, where are you going to go with all the rest of it? How many times have we done that with kids at school, or our kids at home? They get to going and they decorate it so much at the first, and then there's no place to add anything else. I like this combination. Mossy Meadow, stamp off the solid background, and then stamp the detail in the front. I like that. You could also probably have stamped, you could have probably put lemon lime twist in the background. I just like this one better. But there's no right or wrong, other than I'm getting ink smudges because I have fingers dirty. All right, we're gonna leave it at that for now. Okay, close this one up. Now we're gonna reverse it. I want this one here. Let's go with the case. I'm gonna go with, not that one. I don't like that one. It makes me think of Valentine's with hearts. But I'm going with this one. And I am going to stamp this one off. This is the background again, but I'm going to stamp the detailed, heavier one first. So this one is going first, and then I can fill in with the stamped off image. So I just reversed it, is in essence what I've done. And we're going to use Old Olive. And I'm gonna just lay that in there. Actually, I kind of like that even by itself. I don't need to have it filled up, but I'm gonna. But I kind of like it that way. And I just got it on me again. Okay. Filling in. Let's go this way. Couple more. Okay. I may have gotten a little heavy with that one. All right. Now this one I stamp off. So I'm going to stamp off and then I'm going to fit it in here. So can you see how this would be a faster way to make multiple cards at one time? We're going to go on ahead and finish this page up, and I'm going to cut it apart, and then we're going to finish one card. And I'll show you an up step of what you could do to step it up a little more if you wanted more on it. All right. And if you get off, it's okay. It's very forgiving. Okay. All right, so now let's go on ahead and cut this one apart right now. Get rid of these. I have such a mess here. Okay. Four and a half. Make sure I don't have to cut one down. Nope, that is good. I'm gonna cut this one off just a hair because the score line is right there. And then we'll have all of this done. Here's another score line I want to get rid of just the edge. Okay. All right, so now let's take our card and finish one off. But before we do that, let's put the berries in. So I'm gonna go on ahead and take my little cranberry holly berries, and there's no holly, I know that. But now I don't know about you, but when I grew up, my mom and dad had shrubs in the front of their house, and they were not holly, but they had red berries on them every winter. So I'm just going to think of these as the shrubs at my mom and dad's house. Okay, and just adding some berries. If I had wanted to, I could have come back and added a few pine branches. Probably would have added the ones that have no background. Just literally come in and take this one and add just the detail instead. I could have done that in a couple, but let's wrap this up here. Finish putting the berries on. Can you imagine on how much time this would take if you were doing one of these at a time and you pick up the stamp and you put it down and then you go pick up a different one and you put it down and you change your ink And instead, you're doing all 4 of them at one time. So much faster, so much easier. Okay, all right. We're gonna use this one and we're gonna stay with that. And we're gonna take this image here and we're going to stamp it. It'd be nice if I could get that to cover that smudge, but we'll see. How do I wanna lay it? I still like it this way better. So I'm gonna have a smudge in the middle that I can't get covered up probably. Hey, not bad. Okay. Let's do this one this way. We can do this one this way. And this one this way. Got the idea? Finish it up. I have my card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I cut a very vanilla matte at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I cut a piece of DSP from the Seasons of Green and Gold. And I'm telling you, this paper is beautiful. I could have put it over here on the gold, but I'm not into the, if I had done that, I would have wanted a Mossy Meadow matte, I believe. I don't think I would have wanted that. Let's see what we got here. And then I'm gonna come back with the matte here. I don't know, what do you think? Do you want it that way with the gold? Or do you want it with the green? Gold or green? Somebody tell me before I put it down. And I'll just sit here and wait. Actually, the gold's not too bad, is it? Okay, I'm seeing fingers. So I'm getting, love it with the gold. Patricia said, Maria said gold. That's where we're going. Jonna, you got green, but they got in there with it first. So I'm going to go on ahead and do the gold side. And then I will show you 4 cards with the green. So hang tight. And how you can step it up even a little bit more. So let's put this on. Okay. And then we're going to go on ahead and put this down. Onto this. And then I've always said that if, and it comes to embellishments, ribbons, and gems, whatever I have, if it's in the right color, it works. And oh, that sucks. I got some red on here, but I think it will be okay. This is an baker's twine that Stampin' Up! Had several years ago, and they ran it on clearance. And I'm like, it's getting used because, gosh darn it, it's very vanilla. And I love baker's twine. I don't know about anybody else. Baker's twine is one of my favorites. And I'm gonna need a lot of white baker's twine for my next Christmas card class. And I'm really disappointed because the only way I can get it is I have to order those essential packs, which are fine, but I don't need all those other colors. I need white and very vanilla and black. That's essential to me. I don't need all the other colors. And so there I have excess of the other colors, so I'm gonna actually have to order it online. Now, here's the thing. I tied the knot on one string. Can you see that? One of them's got the knot, but I want it when I put my bow on there, I don't want the bow to be a little heavy and pull. So I take this, one of my strings, and I run it under. And by running it under, now when I tie my bow, the bow is attached to both strings of baker's twine, and it will not weigh heavy. And pull one side down. That little change of just running one side underneath it and tying it again makes all the difference. All right. Doorbell rang, Jim. Jim? I didn't know if you heard. So anyhow, we're going to finish up here. And let me get dimensionals. Oh, thanks, Gigi. Glad you're with us today. And I'm going to show you one more move, and let's pray that that is the plumbers. Okay. Let's finish up my card. Where did I put my card? There it is. I'm not used to looking for the gold. There's my card. I went with some iridescent foil gems that are in the catalog. They're clear with little gold specks in them. I have a issue. I have every gem that they ever have created. I think I automatically buy 3 packages because I have with my classes, and then I have all these gems left over. Okay. All right, so there's the gold card. Let's see the green ones. This was from yesterday, the greens that I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Aren't those pretty? And so easy to do, and you're not picking up the stamp every time. You're stamping it 4 times. You're using it all at one time. You're overlapping and getting images on the edges. And if you really want to step it up, you could actually stamp all the way around. Not just the score lines, but you could go all the way around like this one, put a label in the middle and put another label on top of it and have a different look. So very easy to do, very quick. So I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Christmas cards ready. I got 3 more to finish over here. This is the translucent, it's called translucent florals. There's that one. And then you remember the other one that we did was the textured floral. And that one ended up with, where's that? It's around somewhere. Oh, it's down at the other end of the table. It's down there. This was one I stamped yesterday, and I didn't like it because it's got the black centers in the flowers. Easy way to make some cards that are fast and still very, very pretty. So, quadrant stamping. Go out and give it a try. Try different ways to do quadrant stamping. Don't forget, if you're interested in the One Sheet Wonder class, I've got to have those signups no later than Thursday morning. Yeah, it's a $30 class, which is product that you are going to get over $25 in product. And then if you need it and you want it to be shipped to you, you will have a $10 charge for the shipping because of the 12 by 12 paper. It's a little harder to ship 12 by 12 paper. So the other thing, Christmas card class. My Christmas card class sign up ends next Tuesday morning. Make sure that I know if you're in it or not. I have to place the order for all of my DSP and paper that morning. Again, has to be shipped express shipping so that it's here for the weekend so I can get it done. I'm moving everything up a little bit because I'm trying to get ahead when the girls are here for VBS and some medical appointments that I have. So anyhow, take care, God bless, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow night. Bye-bye.